Welcome back to the Gotham Sports Machine. I'm your host, Jack Healey, joined by my co-host, Mark Healey, and we're going to talk some baseball and basketball today. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing great, Jack Healey. I'm doing really good.
Yeah, I mean, the Knicks are absolutely rolling. The Mets finally getting some wins, calling up AJ Ewing. Some good things to be happy about. I
Yeah,
mean, the Knicks, we've been waiting for this for like
yeah,
how long? I mean, last year we got a little taste. But then, I mean, game one, they fell apart, and then it was basically over from there.
right.
So this year's a whole new fresh start. You don't know who we're playing yet, but looking forward to watching the rest of this series. Hopefully, Detroit and Cleveland can beat each other up, and there's some things to look forward to in the baseball world for the Mets, and when there really hasn't been all year. You finally got Ewing in this lineup and 8 runs first game. I mean, or 10 runs. They were pouring it on last night, and we haven't seen that. Like it's like every week or two we see them score more than 4 runs, and in the rest of the games they score one or two. And the offense has been so inconsistently anemic. It's like, is AJ Ewing gonna finally bring some life to this lineup? What are we thinking?
Well, look, I mean, you can't help but hope, that last night is a sign, of better at bats. Here's a kid who comes out of, like he had like 2 weeks in AAA, 3 weeks in AAA, and he comes up and he has one of the most professional at bats, you'll see. At least from some of the Mets. He works out a walk in his first at bat, and he really he looked like you a little bit. No one. I always just tell people nobody knows the strike zone better than Jack Healey, and that's what it reminded me of. The lefty hitter up there, wearing number nine. I know you didn't always wear number nine. That's my number, but I got a kick out of it. And some people ask me, "Oh, what do you think about number nine? That's your guy, Brandon Nimmo. What did you think about AJ Ewing getting number nine?"
I mean, he looked the part out there. He looked like the kind of player that like Nimmo aspired to be, and he looks like the hustle, good like everyday guy that he'll give you he'll look at every pitch, he'll give you every at bat like it's his last.
Right.
He hits the ball, he smacks the ball hard, he's got that short, compact swing that's like I almost like I don't want to compare him to Benj, but like his swing is like everything I like I don't like about Ben's swing. I love about Ewing's swing. It's like Ewing, like Ben seems like he's just doing too much sometimes, and Ewing like again he's only had 2 3 weeks in AAA. It's like it seems like these guys. It's like no one's gotten to him to like mess with his swing, and
Right.
like no one's like, and he's just doing what he's always done. It's simple, it's quick, and it's effective. I mean, the triple he ripped, that had to be over 100 miles an hour off the bat, and he was flying around the bases. I mean, that if that's a look at the future, I'm more than happy for that guy to be number 9.
Well, you made a great point. They haven't gotten to him yet. They haven't started filling his head with all the analytic nonsense. So maybe Benj, who has been playing well, certainly over
Mhm.
the last, since the calendar turned to May, Benj has been playing a lot better too. So, these two guys were playing in Brooklyn a year ago. So that's what's so insane about it. And look, to me, I'm not gonna, we're not gonna sit here. I mean, I certainly am not gonna sit here and think about what could have been, what if, and all that other nonsense. This is what we have to deal with now. And I like the idea of Ewing in center, Benjamin right, Soto in left when he's, feeling 100%. That outfield, that's a great outfield. I'm gonna watch every game anyway. But to be able to watch them play that outfield, hopefully some of these guys get back from injury, in the regular lineup. And, look, maybe who knows? Like David Stearns, when he spoke to the media yesterday, I didn't love a lot of the things he said. I just feel like, now where we are, maybe not talk like you're in a corporate shareholder meeting, talk to the fans through the media. Hey, guys, I know things aren't working out, but I think we have a shot. We've got some guys coming back, but it was all like risk assessment and all that other stuff. It's sometimes it's like relax, guy. Like right now after that terrible April, maybe they can get back in the swing of things. What do you think? Do you think that this team, can get itself? Let's put it this way: can this team get back to 500 before the end of May? And if that's the case, do you think that they could get themselves back into some kind of wild card standing where they might have a shot of getting that second or third wild card?
Listen how many ifs and mights you already said. Like it's a whole you need 9 million things to go right when everything has already gone wrong.
Right.
And Stearns, he's like the CEO. He's like the boss who got in trouble, who got caught cheating on his wife. And he has to like give these like political answers. And he's like what he's gonna say. Like what is he gonna be
No,
like? Oh, this team sucks. I'm gonna trade everybody.
no. But I mean, like,
But no,
like
I'm
just
just
talk to
like,
us like people.
yeah, but even that, even like he's never been like that. It seems like even to his own players, he's always been like, oh. And he came out with Pete he went after Cohen and him, and he's like, yeah, you guys are gonna be fiddling with your formula while they're looking at my Hall of Fame career, which is like, it's true. Like we played 9 different first basemen already, and we're gonna be like, even if Pete at the end of the year he could have a down year for him would be like a 780 OPS. That'd be like a career worst, and he'll still hit 30 home runs, and the Mets would be like begging for that this year. So for him to just be like all like, oh, trust me, like, and the whole process, and like, we're done with it. We don't care. And for me to just be like, oh, and be hopeful for this team when they've proven absolutely nothing to me, when I'm watching MJ Melendez, Austin Slater, like we're watching AAA players every other night. And it's one thing like, oh, it's exciting to see Ewing come up.
Yes.
But like that was such an emergency move.
Right.
Like that was playing like D. And thankfully he looks good. And it seems like he it isn't one of those guys that needs to be in the minors for 2, 3 years. Because some of these guys also can't see the ball. Like they come up and they bat 100 because they see these pitchers throwing 97, 98, and it's like, the hell's going on here?
Right.
But it doesn't seem like he's like that. He seemed very comfortable. It seemed like he was just another day for him. And hopefully, I mean, hopefully, like just like the aspect of getting some young life, some new like more of like that lineup was a watchable lineup last night. I don't love Melendez in the 5 hole wherever he was hitting, but outside of that, it looked like a lineup I can like watch and like be like, oh, let's win this game. And I'm not seeing 3 or 4 guys. It's like, oh, that's an automatic out.
No, no question. I
And
mean,
that's where you got to start. And
yep.
if
No, I
you
agree. I agree. I mean, they have Detroit for 2 more games, and then they have the Yankees this weekend. And then I think they play who do they play next? The Nationals? Is that who they play next, or the Marlins? I forget. It doesn't
I
matter.
just know that I just know we got the Yankees coming up, and
Yeah. So yeah.
I'm not
So
looking forward to it.
you know what? But look, you got to play the games. You got to win as many as you can and see what happens. For me, you know, at the end of the day, it's about health, right? You got to get some of these guys back. I don't think Luis Robert Jr. is coming back. I think that the reason they brought up the reason they brought up Ewing is because they figure. I mean, look, you bring him up and he's playing like this. You can't put Luis Robert Jr. back in the lineup. Or at least you play him in left and you DH Soto. I don't see
Okay,
where
Ewing, can he play like holdover? Can he play
he can play
infield too?
second base too, but you're not going to move Simeon. I mean, he plays
Well,
every
why
day.
not? He can't hit. I mean, he's miserable. And he was even making it like he is not good enough to be playing every day. I like the guy, and it's like sad. Like I knew what was gonna happen like once the trade happened. We were gonna trade for him. He's gonna come here. He's gonna be this great guy, great teammate, and he's gonna suck, and we're gonna piss all over him because he just got set up for failure. He's older. He's not as good anymore, and he got put into a role where he had to be good and he had to hit.
Look, look, you're not going to get much argument from me. I mean, he did hit a nice liner last night.
And he's been
Uh,
hitting with runners on, but it's just
yeah,
like it's
he
not
has. He
consistent
has
enough.
been. So we'll see. I mean, look, the thing for me is, like there's too many people looking at how many games we're behind. Look, the division is over. Like that is not happening. Okay. Even if the Braves fall apart, this is not going to be. Yes, we've seen the Mets blow a 10-game lead. The Braves are not doing that, right? So to me, you can't even think about the division. You can't think about the wild card right now. You just have to think about winning games. So you got to take each game in and of itself. You got to sit down every night and say, let's get a win tonight. And then look, if they get to 500, which is certainly possible, right? They're only 9 games under right now. It's possible. And then, you get to 500. Who knows what happens after that? I mean, for me, I never thought that's what we are going to be talking about this year. Getting back to 500 for the Mets. I mean, I mean, you were a little bit more pessimistic about the Mets coming into opening day than I was. I thought they're actually going to be a good team, regardless of all the changes they made. So, we'll see. We'll certainly see. And thank God the Knicks are playing at a ridiculous level. Um, and I definitely want to talk about that. Uh, but here's the thing: like, what when you look at the Knicks and compare them to last year, right? The other team that got to the Eastern Conference Finals. Do you think they're a better team than they were a year ago? And B, why do you think they're a better team than they were a year ago?
I mean, it's not even like it's basically the same team. Like all they really added was Clarkson, like
And JoJo.
and Alvarado, and like
I
honestly,
love
like
that guy, by the way. I love that guy, by the way.
yeah, they've
I love
been.
him.
It's really just the fact that Mike Brown has used the bench more in the playoffs.
Right,
And like Tibbs, people were like, "Oh, Tibbs didn't use the bench." He used the bench in the first series against Detroit. Campaign won us a game, and it was throughout that. It's like towards the end of that series and the beginning of the second round against Boston. Then he just like, especially against like, I don't even think the bench played at all against Boston. Because some teams you play against, it's just like I'm playing 8 guys. I'm playing my best guys the whole time, and I don't want to mess around.
right,
And Mike Brown has gotten a little bit more into like, I need to use my whole rotation. These guys can be effective, they can be useful if I use them right. And he has been using them right. He wasn't in the beginning of the playoffs, the first few games, he dropped some games to Atlanta and everyone's coming for his head, acting like he can't adjust. Like coaches can adjust. Was he on the hot seat? A little bit, just because this team was so good and we knew it was so good, and we see that it's this good. But he made the adjustment. He's made the adjustments all year. This team won 50 games. Like this team was a very good team. There's all these analysts like, oh, the Knicks were inconsistent. Oh. Like this is some like the Knicks were great all year. They had one stretch, 2-9 stretch after the cup where they didn't look good at all. But immediately after that, they were like 20 and like 7. So like they were never like the Mets have been inconsistently inconsistent for the longest time, winning 60 games, losing 60 games. Like they were a steadily good team all year. They just had to refine what they like were really gonna do in this postseason and playoffs. Took Mike Brown a little bit. Oh, what do you know? Let me give the All NBA center, who's basically unguardable, the ball.
right.
Finally, we got to see that, and Jalen Brunson and Towns has really just went to work.
And Bridges
Philly,
too. Bridges too. Bridges has really stepped up after that one game where everybody was like benching. He's
yeah,
he's been great since then.
yep. He's been, I mean, what his defense on Maxey that was series changing. Maxey
Yeah.
really never got going. The Sixers really never got going. I mean, that's the most dominant Knicks basketball I've ever seen in my life. Like,
Yeah.
I've never seen them just start to finish absolutely wipe the floor with a team all series. And it's beautiful to watch. I
Yeah,
mean,
it certainly was, especially with all the people picking the Sixers and
yeah,
Saints. I mean, the experts. Look, it's like the media loves to kill the Mets, and sometimes rightfully so. But like the media does not like the Knicks, and that's fine. The media doesn't determine anything. But I always take a secret little joy out of some of these guys when they come out and they, like there were quite a few that really thought that the Sixers were the team that were going to go to the finals. I sent you a reel the other day, like
this,
five different people. Oh yeah, I like the Sixers. They're going to the finals.
the Sixers, like everybody was on the Celtics, and the Celtics lose to the Sixers. Now it's the Sixers, the Sixers. Colin Cowherd,
Yeah.
moron. Nick Wrong,
Oh, he's the worst.
like all these guys coming after Brunson, saying he's not a top scoring option when he's been one of the best playoff, if not the best playoff scorer. It's like him and SGA are miles above everyone else when it comes to playoff scoring in the past 4 years.
Yeah. No, there's no question. So now the Knicks have to wait for this Cavs Pistons series to be over. Some people, Alan Hahn was talking about it yesterday on ESPN. He knows the Knicks, as well as anybody. One of my favorite guys to talk to over the years about the Knicks and this and that. He actually said something interesting. I don't know if you caught this, but he said something interesting. Um, interesting the other day about, you remember that Brunson, Rick Brunson and Jalen Brunson, against the Hawks. Do you remember them like having words after one of the games?
Yeah, he told him to pass the ball.
Yeah, and he said like the kind of the offense kind of changed almost immediately after that, where Brunson, not so much to pass the ball, but like you don't have to carry it. You know, telling
That was
Jalen he
their
doesn't have to
problem.
carry, right? So that
If you
that
go back to our
definitely
process, I was saying the same thing. They reverted to their worst basketball, which is Brunson dribbling the air out of the ball. Like that's not why we spent $600 million around him. Like we gave OG 200 million. Bridges is $100 million player. Towns is a $200 million player. Like give these guys the ball. Let them work. They're great basketball players. And what do you know? He started giving them the ball. But he's never really been like it's really just crunch time that he
right.
really like reverts to that. It's like, oh, we need a bucket. Like I don't really like he would just go for it. Like, and it has worked. His ISO ball is one of the most effective scoring ways in the league. Nobody could guard him in the ISO other than a few guys. But when you do it every single time as a 6 foot guard, eventually somebody's gonna stop you.
Right.
You
And
get
that
tough
look,
shots.
and it looks like they're figuring it out. I mean, obviously, great players want to take the shot. That's a great player. Great player wants to take the shot with the game in line. He wants the ball in his hands. But sometimes a great player also has to understand that he's got other guys on the team that can make that shot too. And it looks like, we're seeing that. We're seeing that. So, the Pistons, the Cavs, do you have any preference who you'd like to see them play?
Well, we're talking about hero ball and dribbling the air out of the ball. I mean, that's the Pistons right now. Cade Cunningham has been playing hero ball all postseason. No one really has stepped up as a consistent number two. That was their problem last year. It was a problem all like everyone this year was like, oh, Pistons, Pistons, Pistons. They still had the same problem. It was like a different guy every night was stepping up for them, whether it was Thompson, Tobias Harris, Duran. Like they have guys. But in a playoff series, it's a lot different. You need a guy that shows up every night as your number two. Like the Knicks have had Brunson and Towns every night. Maybe Towns hasn't been scoring like a number two every night, but the nights he hasn't been scoring, he's got 8, 9 assists. So they've had a consistent 1 and 2, or like Anunoby's just been. I don't see, as far as preference, I'd prefer the Pistons because they're playing their worst basketball right now. I think we match up better with them, and I want to beat them because everyone, oh, Pistons, Pistons, Pistons. This is the Pistons East. Like since the playoffs started, nobody has said that. They went down 3-1 to the Magic, barely got out of that series, looked better in the second round, and they look They just look dead. They look like Cleveland. Donovan Mitchell scored 39 in the second half in that last game. I want no part of that. No part of Donovan Mitchell in New York. He,
I agree.
he's the, he's the kind of guy that he turns it up when the season starts getting late. He's the kind of guy that he would come into New York and light us up. Like CJ McCollum, he started get like I would be infinitely more terrified. Like CJ McCollum had no business doing that. That's why I was throwing everybody off. Donovan Mitchell, that's his job to come in, would be to come here and murder us.
Right.
And
Right.
uh, no thanks.
No thanks. I agree. I agree. Here's something else that we people were talking about yesterday. It's probably a good place to end this, but some people, some of the experts are talking about, oh, the Knicks, they're going to have this long layoff, and it doesn't really play to their strengths because the Knicks have never won a playoff series after they've lost game one. So if they have this long layoff, what if they lose
That's
that game one? What do you
another
think about that?
whole bunch of ifs, mights, and oh, if like oh nonsense. OG was hurt. They're getting more time off. This isn't the All-Star break. They're not gonna go Magic City Wings. They're not gonna like we're not getting vacations. We're not gonna have to go to Vegas
No
and
boat
go get
trip. No boat trip.
yeah. Like they're gonna be practicing. Maybe they
Right.
get a day or two off, but they're gonna
Right.
be still working with each other and getting shots up.
Right.
Uh, they've been getting beat up every postseason. The past two postseasons, we haven't even made it out with healthy players.
Right.
Half of our starting five has gotten bludgeoned. So getting time off and getting some rest before potentially the biggest series this century for the Knicks,
Yeah.
like, yeah, I think it's gonna help. Especially when I think you have to take it game by game. Everybody was guaranteeing the Knicks finals after we beat Boston last year. It was like nobody was even thinking. It was like, oh, Indiana, like, and then look what happened.
Right.
Neesmith scored 30 straight
Oh,
points.
oh,
Halliburton hits one of the most ridiculous shots ever, and you blink and the season's gone.
yeah. That was awful.
And your coach is gone. It's like,
Yeah. It was.
but
Yeah.
now we're right back.
Yep.
You're in honestly a better position. Especially if OG can be at full strength with like a solid week off. And I
Well,
like
that's
how we
that's
match up.
huge. That's huge.
Yeah,
Every day of rest that he gets is much better for the Knicks.
yeah. Especially with the Cavs and Pistons, like both play very physical. They're gonna be beating the hell out of each other. Every game they gotta play, and every game that the Knicks don't, that's a plus.
Yep. I agree. I agree.
Well, hopefully we can get some Knicks and Mets wins in our future. And it's been another great episode of the Gotham Sports Machine. I'll see you guys next week. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Spotify, we're on Apple Podcasts. Basically, anywhere you can watch, we're there.
That's it. All right,
See you
pal.
guys next week.
Love you, pal.
Love you.